Now, more than 12,000 people have signed a petition calling on Twitter to take stronger action against online abuse after a feminist campaigner received dozens, hundreds indeed, death threats and rape threats. Caroline Criado-Perez received a deluge of hostile tweets after successfully arguing for a woman's picture to be put on a new banknote. Well, her friend and fellow campaigner, and it's worth saying, online expert Vicky Beeching is here. You've got it all covered for us this morning, Vicky. We can see actually that's your cape, I think, in the very edge of that shot, isn't it, on the day of the campaigning. First and foremost, look, talk to us about how Caroline is reacting to all of this, because I mean, these sort of threats, they're not just any old idle threat. I mean, death threats, rape threats are incredibly serious. How's she coping?
Oh, she's holding up very well. She's a very brave person. She's originally launched something called the Women's Room, which is actually an online facility for people to find women experts for media, because there aren't enough women in the media. There's my cape, there you go. Oh, there you go. My shield. I was supposed to be Boadicea, but it was Boadicea on a budget, so I look a bit like a Roman soldier. Fair enough. Yeah, Caroline's a very strong woman. She's already launched this website for women to have more voice in the media. After that, she then took on the Women on Banknotes campaign. So very tough person, but for any woman, and I've had actually very similar things happen to me when I lived in the States, as soon as those threats come at you in a personal nature and they become sexual and violent, even the strongest of women, I think we find it difficult to bear up under that. So she's doing well, but obviously it's a very, very difficult time.
It begs the question in all of this, what can be done about it? And there have been a lot of complaints about the way Twitter has dealt with this, feeling they haven't given an adequate response, haven't responded when she's approached them directly, but also this idea of being able to report abuse online just doesn't seem to be there.
It's a tricky thing, because at the moment you can obviously block people and that gets them out of the way, but that doesn't really shut down their account. To actually report somebody takes a few more minutes, and that's not realistic if you're someone like Caroline, who's dealing with 50 threats an hour, because she would literally be spending every minute of her day typing into a form. But the flip side of it is that if it was really easy to report people in that manner, if it was literally just one button, you can imagine how many more people are going to take advantage of that. So whether it's for a joke or maybe a kind of vendetta against somebody, the fact that it takes a few more minutes to fill in a form actually does weed out some of the people who might do it as a joke. So it's a really difficult one for Twitter to decide on, because they want to make the reporting function really quick, and they are researching that at the moment. But at the same time, if it takes a bit of effort, it means it's less likely to be misused.
But Twitter are saying that they do have a code of conduct, if you like, and a set of rules.
Yes.
But the point is that if someone is blocked, or even if an account is closed down, they can reopen anonymously another account to the drop of a hat.
One of the worst things for me was people actually started accounts in my name with my photo in America, and then would start approaching friends of mine and younger girls, and that really worried me, because as soon as you reported somebody, they could just reopen another account. So I know Twitter are very aware that this is a problem, and something needs to be done about it.
Of course, I mean, it's a very difficult line in all of this, isn't it, about having the necessary freedoms online, and the freedom that does give a lot of people, and especially in countries where freedom is not that easy to get hold of. But the abuse of that, and also I guess tied in with that, Vicky, is the idea that people are getting so affronted and furious about something as simple and as basic as having a woman on a banknote.
Well, I don't think it's really about that anymore. I think it's the fact that there are women who are campaigning online for various things, and they become targets and focuses of angst against women. And if you put your head above the parapet, and I've definitely found this to be true, as soon as you do that, you are targeted. But I think one of my takeaways from this whole thing, to do with the research I do on internet ethics, is that technology is at heart a fairly neutral tool. And it's not right for us in this kind of situation to be blaming social media, because it actually does a heck of a lot of good. The Women on Banknotes campaign wouldn't have been successful without it.
But it's interesting, isn't it, in all of this, we talk about the freedoms of social media and the freedoms that it gives people, and yet when we present people with that neutral medium, how much hate actually appears.
It's true. Well, it brings out our inner heart, I guess, and shows what we're like on the inside, and it does make it easier. But the actual tool is really no different to the printing press or the invention of the wheel. I think we need to get it in perspective. These technologies are new, but in the great sweep of history, really, it's like the printing press. You can write a good book or a bad book, and we just need to rise to the occasion and trying to be more moral in using such a powerful tool.
So it's about the people rather than the tool.
Yes, yeah. If you blame the tool, then the onus of responsibility is removed from us as a society. We can easily go, oh, Facebook, you know, evil, breaks down marriages, Twitter causes people to be nasty, but actually we need to really show that we can handle this new tool, and I think society needs to really take a kind of a grip on character and ethics.
But maybe the moral question is that we can't handle these types of tools, because people wouldn't say a lot of these things to your face, but because of Twitter they're able to say things they would never dream of saying.
Exactly, and a lot of my research deals with consequences becoming less concrete. So if I say something nasty to you here, I've got the concrete consequence of you maybe being angry or upset, but if you're through a screen, that concrete consequence is gone, and you can almost act and feel like you are invisible and anonymous. So it's like we've been given superpowers, and now we need to show that we can rise and handle those superpowers well.
It's interesting, it gives us something to think about, Vicky, the way you put it to us this morning. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.